let's have today's session. So I welcome you all for today's webinar on building towards the future with 3D Experience SolidWorks. So which delivers more than expected. I am Vasanta, CAD Applications Engineer working with Logical Solutions. So today's agenda is all about collaborating with each other. That the main focus and the main intention is how the design team will get collaborated with projects or tasks and how they get notified about the task which was assigned by the manager and how forward the change management action will be taking over. So before going into our main session, let's have a glimpse on previous webinar that is Travel in Cloud with 3D Experience platform. So in the previous webinar, we have seen what are the common issues faced by the different level of authorities in an organization and how our platform has been helped to overcome the issues. So here we have posted a link and also we have provided a link in the chat box. Those who haven't attended or those who have missed the previous webinar can watch with the provided link. And mainly today we are focusing on design role and collaborating with designers. So let's see how the manager will be assigning tasks to the designer. So being a manager, like as a manager, he'll be working on a lot of projects or tasks. So he'll be assigning few tasks to the particular designers in his team members to meet the deadline of the project. So we have entered into the 3D Experience platform. So by using the project planning app, the manager will be assigning the task to the designer. So let's utilize the project planning app. So this is a project planning tab, and here you can create a new project. The title should be accordingly as per your designing model, and click on create. So the page will be reflected. Here you can add the particular task. So there will be multiple tasks to the multiple designers. So as per the designers, we will be adding the task, multiple tasks, and we will be assigning to the designers. So here we will be assigning one of the tasks regarding cloud-based and one of the tasks regarding on SolidWorks Connected, and finally we will be reviewing. So these tasks will be assigned to particular members, and in this members tab we will be assigning all the assignees, and in the task if you edit this one you can get the properties. Here if required you can mention the description. That means the manager will be mentioning the description, and there will be a priority and there will be a start time and also end time. If you want you can mention it, and there will be duration. And also here there will be a members tab. Here this is a particular task will be held by the particular designer. And for the next task, the manager will be adding to the another designer. So for each and every task, the manager will be assigning for each and every designer. It will be depending upon the project. So like this, we will be assigning the task to the designers. And coming to the schedule tab, here the manager will be tracking all the workflow. That means the progress of the work, like till where we have been reached and how the workflow is been going. The manager will be seeing from the schedule. So this is the manager will be assigning the task to the designers. So let's see how the designer will be taking into the designing part. So after assigning all the tasks to the designer, they start working on it. But generally in any organization, they may get distracted or diverted with non-productive works, which happens most of the cases, which leads to delay their projects. So for that, here by using the collaborative task, each and every member or each and every designer in the team will get notified about their project so that they can be prioritized with their work. So non-productive things can be eliminated, which leads to complete the task within the deadlines. So let's see how the designers will make use of designing apps. So here one of the designer will be make use of cloud-based designing app. Now in the 3D experience platform, we are using one of the cloud-based designing app, that is 3D Sculpted, which says as a X-shaped app. So now let's enter into a 3D experience platform. So we'll go for a designer ID, that means designer dashboard. So here is the designer ID. Designer is viewing the notification from the 3D notification center. And also here in the project, in the task, he will be changing his maturity status from to do to involve. That means he will be starting his work. So in his required dashboard, available dashboard, he is adding a X-shape app. Since here he is working on existing component, so his component he'll be importing his component from the local disk. And you have to choose your destination as per your requirement. And here in this particular assembly, so it's a monitor stand assembly. Here he's going to add a new component. So on the base part, so the base should be in a editing mode. He'll be adding subdivision model. So he's choosing primitive box. With the help of primitive box and as per the requirement of loop, he'll be scaling it into the center as per his requirement. He'll be doing the design. And by viewing the top view, the designer will select all the vertices. Symmetrically he will do a drag. Symmetrically he will grab all the vertices vertically and horizontally. As per the shape requirement, the designer will do the modifications on the primitive. And also with the help of symmetry, by taking the ZX plane as a reference, he has selected the corner entities and dragging forward again, looking at the base stand design, like it should be a base stand. And if you want, you can also grab these entities to look evenly. And also taking into the front view, selecting all the bottom of the corner edges by holding Control key and clicking double click on all the edges. It will be selected. Will get a selected loop. And click on crease from the context toolbar, otherwise from the subdivision tab. Now you can see all the bottom faces got sharp edges, and you can see the sharp flat surface. As well as we are using align entities by line by selecting top vertices of subdivision model, bringing the line down at both the corners. This is very safe way to do it for adjusting faces, and make sure with the make sure that it meets your criteria. So this is our model. And lastly, let's go to the features tab to make a shell on the sub-D model. I'm selecting the bottom surface tangentially with a thickness of 1 mm. So this is a model which completes in the X shape. So to finish it, let's switch over to the XDesign app. So in the XDesign app, I'm creating a new plane by taking the XY plane as a reference and giving offset of 25 mm towards upward direction. And here on the new plane, I'm giving a new sketch of circle with the required diameter. And extruding up. And extruding up towards downwards, that means up to the geometry. For the geometry, I am selecting the base part surface, top surface. And here our designing part has been completed. Here, if you want, you can hide the plane. So the designing segment has been completed. Now let's export it into a local disk. So before that you have to save the component, and here you have to change the file format into SLD XML. So it has been saved automatically and it will goes into your downloads. So now again going into task tab, here your work has been completed. Now you have to change your maturity status into completed. So this is how you will be finishing. And also if you want to share your component, you can utilize 3D Swim in your required communities, which will be available for your team members. There you can post your models, or you can do the conversations with the conversations tab. Here you can collaborate with each other, with your team members regarding the task or a project. So now the manager will be reviewing the notification. He'll get a notification from the 3D notification center. He'll be viewing so that he could know that the one task has been completed from one designer. And let's see the SolidWorks Connected part. Now the another designer will be getting into SolidWorks Connected part. That means we are adding one more task into another maturity status. So this is a 3DEXPERIENCE platform again. So one more designer will be doing the work on another task. So here the designer will be dragging into in-work state. Here now he has started in doing SolidWorks Connected. From the 3D space, he will choose the assembly and he will open with the SolidWorks Connected, or by using the search bar, he will open SolidWorks Connected app. So this is a SolidWorks Connected app, as you can see. So from here also you can open the existing files, and also from here you can open 3DEXPERIENCE files, and make sure with your project space to where you have to save your files. And in the right side you can see the 3DEXPERIENCE pane. All the maturity status, revisions, everything will be appears here, and in the left side the entire assembly will be appears. And here you can see the status icon is in unsaved. So now let's save this with the help of save active window. Now click on the save, so that each and every component will be saved into your project space, which you have assigned in your SolidWorks Connected. Now each and every component has been is being saved in the collaborative space. So you can see that status icon has been changed into save, and the work and the maturity state has comes under in work. Now we have to release from in work. That means you are done with the SolidWorks Connected part, and the revision will be A1. So no changes we have done, so that's why we have got A1. And also you can see that in the status the icon is looking in another way. That means in the 3DEXPERIENCE the version has been changed. To avoid this, you have to do reload from server. This will be appears in the maturity status, or else you can see in the life cycle tab. So before going forward, let's know few more about collaborative life cycle. So why life cycle we use to create or to modify, to open, or to lock or unlock. That means to secure your models or files or documents, will be using collaborative life cycles, and there will be few maturity status which will be depends upon your files or projects. So in the for private, this will be accessible only for the owner and will not be shared in the project space. And in work will be when you are doing the work of your particular document, the maturity status will be in work, and this will be accessible for your project space. The frozen state will be set while all the changes has been done. To review the preventing changes, the frozen state will be set. And the release state, after completing your model, and after completing your model, so no more modifications if you require, then you can set it to released state. Absolute will be the model, if you don't want to modify or if you don't require anymore, you can make it as absolute. And now again, let's move forward. Let's continue our process. We have entered into the 3D experience again. So now we have done SolidWorks Connected part, and I'm changing the maturity status into complete. So this will be again notified to the manager. So here you can see we have completed all the tasks for the particular designer. The manager got the notification, and here he will be reviewing from 3D notification center. So he can view that from the task tab. There are 3 tasks, so they have been completed 2 tasks, and this task and review task has not been completed. So that will be from another designer again. So, and also he's been tracking from the schedule tab. So now let's complete our task. To complete the task, let's move forward. So before that, manager will be seeing the assembly with the help of 3D space. He'll be viewing the model, whatever the designers have done, whatever they have designed. He'll be viewing the model with the help of SolidWorks Connected itself. So this is a SolidWorks. It was launching, and you can see here the entire assembly has been completed. As manager can review here, so whatever the changes if he required, he'll be mentioned again as a new task. We'll see that. So manager required few changes. Now with the help of issue management, he'll be assigning a task again. That means he is generating a new issue. The title should be related accordingly to the assembly. And the description should be whatever the changes the manager required, like whatever the modifications he required, that should comes under description. Here we are giving appearances and the chamfer for that particular monitor stand, and in the resolution recommendation, in which part, that means on which model the changes has to be done, should be comes under resolution recommendation. And priority level should be medium, and due date will be up to you, and make it start. If you have any contents, you can post here, and if you have any attachment, you can drop in the attachments tab. And here manager will be assigning the another design to for the issue management, and we'll be starting here. So before closing it, manager will be reviewing each and every time. Here he can see all the properties, and the maturity status has been changed into to do. And the members, you can also assign over here also. You can upload the files over here also. And now he's done with the issue management generation. Now the designer, will look into it. He'll receive the notification. So from the 3D notification center, he'll be viewing the notification. So he'll be reviewing the part. So he has started his work. So that's why he had changed into in work. If you refresh the issue management, the updates will, the changes will get, and select the monitor stand issue. You can see the properties, and you can see the entire thing which the manager assigned to the particular designer. So in the related object, you have to upload. That means you have to select the main assembly on which you require the changes. That means this should be the affected item or else against component. And on this particular component, we are giving a 3D markup. 3D markup, this is an application which lets you review content using a set of dedicated commands to annotate, measure, and comment your content. So here we'll be creating a new markup. So to view the changes, to identify the changes, we are using the annotation, and we are giving a single word so that the particular designer can notice that this change should be happen on the particular model. So like that we can utilize the 3D markup. So automatically you can close this, and this will be saved automatically, and if you refresh it, this will comes under attachments tab. The markup will comes under attachments. So this will be one of the attachments, and related object you have to do the change action. We have to take over the change management. CVID should be medium and save it as a draft, because the designer will start the work, and it will be reflected in the resolved by tab. And refresh it. So in the change action app, everything will be appears which was assigned earlier by the manager, and when comes to the members, the members will be there, and in the proposed changes also the manager so before that let's see, in the managers he'll be assigning the designer, and he will be the self approval. And in the proposed changes, the model which was assigned, which was attached from the manager, this will be appears in the proposed changes. So you can see the maturity status, it is in released, and now we have to do the change assessment. And here in the change assessment, you can see the children parts which will be associated with the parent part. I'm expanding all the children models, and you have to select the particular models on which the changes should be done, and drag and drop it into the proposed changes. So on this particular models, we require the changes. Now change the maturity status from draft to set into in-work. And refresh it, so that if you get any changes, that will be reflected. And coming to the designer, the designer will be reviewing the notification that the change action should be done. And before entering into the issue management, before seeing the issue, the designer will view the changes with the help of 3D markup. Like what are the changes required will be has been done in the 3D markup. So she'll be notifying all the things, whatever the requirements has done. So here you can see the attachment with the help of 6W tags. So here this is a 3D markup. The designer can review the changes. So now closing the 3D markup, I'm entering into the issue management. And in the change actions, if you refresh it, in the realized changes, you can see all the reflections which was done previously earlier in the another designer. So that all comes into in-work status. That means on the particular model itself, they are going to do changes. So here you can see in the 3D experience pane, only for yoke base, we got the in-work status. So before that we have to reserve it, and also in the work under we have to activate the change action, so that it will be whatever the changes we will be doing, that will be saved in that particular work. So here the changes will be doing on the yoke as per the manager requirement, and also on the base. On the base, here we are giving the appearances, and you have to change the maturity status into frozen. And saving the components and changing the maturity status into frozen. That means every changes has been done. You can review the changes. Now the change action and work under change action will be deactivated. So now going into the change action tab in the 3D experience, you can see in the realized changes the maturity status has become frozen. So this is how we will be doing the work. If you have any issues also, if manager is generating any issues also, like this we can prevent all the changes, and then the maturity, and in the change action will be changing maturity status from invoke to approval, so that the particular designer who will be assigning the change action, they will be approving the task, and then later manager will be reviewing the model, and also there also from them also will get an approval, and then later will be changing again maturity status into complete. So here we can see one more thing. Here we have an option called compare with previous. That means before changes and after changes we can compare the model. So if you click on compare, so if you click on compare, in the right side you can see the entire assembly, and in the left side you can see the revisions and the differences. As you can see the revisions, what are the revisions has been converted from A1 to B1. And next let's explore about product exploring. That means product structure. It will be similar to design tree in your SolidWorks. So I am selecting the product explorer from the search bar and adding into the dashboard. So I am dropping the assembly, updated assembly into the product explorer. If you choose and right click the particular selection, then you can explore the main assembly. If you expand all, here you can see each and everything, what are the revisions we have been converted, and what type of product is this. You can see the description and who are the owner, and you can see all the maturity status and also CAD master. Whatever the things we have done in which platform, everything we can see here in the product explorer. So this is how we will be designing in the 3D experience platform, which will be connected with the SolidWorks, and this will be very useful and very easiest part with the help of SolidWorks Connected, and each and every model will be doing, and each and every file will be securely saved in the collaborative space. And concluding that the SolidWorks Connected part and also the 3D experience will be more effective collaboration regarding the projects or tasks with the team members, and we can reserve all the components. That means we can lock the components very securely, and mostly the paperwork will be eliminated, and will get the easy approvals from the higher authorities, and we have the high control of the model of each and every stage, and overall there will be a time saving and effective work will be done.